Today's news. Today's news.
Charged in CEO killing.
You can to get a guy like that off the street.
What next for Syria?
We will not allow ISIS to use this moment to regroup.
Malibu Inferno.
The fire's like starting to go on top of the mountain. It's wild.
Good morning, I'm Steve Cason. With the CBS World News Roundup, there's now a murder charge against the 26-year-old man arrested yesterday in Pennsylvania, a development that ended the manhunt sparked by the killing of the United Healthcare CEO last week in New York City. Here's CBS's Lilia Luciano.
Luigi Mangione was arraigned Monday evening after being spotted earlier that day inside a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Police showed up to the scene and approached Mangione. They say started shaking at one point as he was questioned.
They asked him if he had been to New York recently.
And he responded nervously.
He was very nervous.
Investigators say he had a fraudulent New Jersey ID that matched the one Mangione allegedly used to check into a New York City hospital prior to the murder. Altoona police later discovered a U.S. passport with Mangione's real name, along with a firearm and suppressor that investigators say is consistent with the weapon used in the shooting. An online book review from January of this year, apparently written by Mangione, praises some of the writings of the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. The NYPD says Altoona police found a 3-page handwritten document on Mangione when he was arrested that they say showcases the ill will he felt towards corporate America.
Now overseas, correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is in Damascus, Syria, where there's a power vacuum after the ouster of the Assad regime.
Crowds came to sightsee around one of the former dictator's houses and to get to know the Islamist fighters who swept into their city on Sunday. They were on best behavior, even lending their weapons for photo ops.
It's a good celebration for all the Syrians here and all over the world.
We drove nearby to another symbol of the regime.
It's a Syria's presidential palace, or at least it was. President Assad has fled, so it's empty. But for most Syrians, the idea of even being this close to it was unimaginable.
We found vast ceremonial rooms where once the Assads would have welcomed dignitaries. But today, a man their army tried to kill was in charge.
I know, it's a bit also.
I was wounded in an airstrike on my home during the Civil War, Ahmed tells me. How do you feel standing here today? I'm a Syrian, he says. It's unimaginable. This party could still turn very ugly.
The effort to free an American hostage in Syria has now intensified after all the recent developments. Journalist Austin Tice disappeared in the country 12 years ago. His sister, Naomi, tells CBS News,
"We have full confidence that Austin is indeed alive, that he is in Syria, and that he is absolutely waiting to walk free."
A special U.S. envoy is headed to the Middle East to focus on finding out more about Tice's whereabouts. Back here at home in Southern California, CBS's Jonathan Digliotti is covering a wildfire in Malibu that's burned at least 1,700 acres.
Firefighters now battling what's being dubbed the Franklin Fire, which broke out last night near the picturesque Pepperdine University. The fire is like starting to go on top of the mountain. It's like heading down. So we just decided to get like off campus because we didn't want to like risk anything. The big concern is the powerful Santa Ana winds, along with the unusually low humidity. At one point, the fire was seen burning dangerously close to large homes just below the hillside.
President-elect Trump's cabinet picks continue to make the rounds with Republican senators. We heard from embattled Pentagon choice Pete Hegseth last night on Fox News, who has previously indicated women should not serve in military combat roles.
Some of our greatest warriors, our best warriors out there are women who served. I look forward to being secretary for all our warriors, men and women.
At his long-running corruption trial, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today promised to refute all the charges against him. Reporter Linda Gradstein is in Jerusalem.
Netanyahu has sought to delay his testimony in 3 separate cases dealing with fraud and breach of trust, saying that the events in Lebanon and Syria demand his full attention, but the court did not agree. He is set to testify 3 times a week for 6 hours each time, the first time a sitting Israeli prime minister has taken the stand. He maintains he is innocent of all charges.
It's coming up on 5 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again